in the last class, we were looking into Tut and his tomb. Tut and his tomb. We have seen that emperor or the Pharaoh, Egyptian kings are known as Pharaoh. That is their title. So, Pharaoh Tut was buried
Sir,
into a pyramid.
sir, we didn't finish the other chapter.
Hello?
Sir, we didn't finish the other chapter.
We didn't finish.
No, sir.
Which chapter?
We are not afraid to die.
That is not over. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So, sorry. 11B and so let us come to the page number 40. Page number 40. The voice of rain. We will go to the poem. And because the two classes are going on two levels. So in separate class, when I manage that one, we will come back to that. Okay. So today, because one class difference is there. So I will make up that class, then together we will come back. Okay. So here, the voice of the rain. Walt Whitman, an American poet. He was very famous for his philosophical thoughts. He was famous for his philosophical thoughts. Walt Whitman. Here in this poem, the voice of the rain, in this poem, he makes a life history of rain. He wants us to teach the mind of rain. Rain speaks to us. And we want to see the psychology. There are some psychology students also here, isn't it? Biopsychology students. He wants to study the psychology of the rain. We are experiencing everyday rain, and we never thought of it. Poets are like that. Poets are like that. Very often when I read a poem, in my memory, every time I remember Keats, John Keats. See, there are many poets. Wordsworth, Coleridge is there. Walt Whitman, many poets are there. But why do I remember John Keats? Very many years ago, I taught in the high school in North India when I was teaching the ICC syllabus. There was a poem I taught John Keats about a bird. I think my last year students might have might be remembering, I have already told, I might have told this. And to all I tell all the time when I teach a poem. Because a poet comes into life. A poet becomes a poet, or a man becomes a poet within a single minute, single second. A poet emerges from him with a single incident. Suppose a child is sitting there opposite to my veranda, railings are there. The child is holding the railings and the baby is crying. If you look at the baby, it is a simple thing, isn't it? A baby is sitting there, it's alone, he is crying. But when a poetic mind looks at that, poet begins a poem from there. In this way, when John Keats was sitting in the morning on an easy chair on the veranda, and he has one cup of black tea, and he was reading the newspaper. While he was reading the newspaper, he heard a bird's cry. The bird was sitting on a branch and it was crying. Just a chirp, I would say, not cry, a chirp. Keats attended to that. What happened? Then he wrote the poem. Single chirp. He thought the bird may be left alone. Her husband might have left her. Her child might have died. He began to write a poem about the bird. The poetic mind arises. A single incident. You see, William Wordsworth has written a poem about a girl who was cutting the grass, Solitary Reaper. Poem's name, Solitary Reaper. She was cropping, taking the crops with a sickle. While she was cutting the crops, she was singing or humming a song. Simply, we people, when we take a bath, we hum, isn't it? While you surf on your hand, Thompson Don, when you surf the hand, you will hum, isn't it? According to the music, your hands will move fast. Somebody, isn't it? Isn't it? Expensive. Soap will be expensive. So, while she was taking the crops, using the sickle, according to the speed of the cutting, the music goes. And Wordsworth hears that humming. He began to write a song, poem, Solitary Reaper. There are many artists among us. They may make marvelous things with waste material, isn't it? So in this way, what I am saying is that a rainy season, every day you enjoy rain. How much you are enjoying rain in these past days? Did you ever think about rain as Walt Whitman thought? First, you should know what the thought of philosophy of Walt Whitman. Okay, in this way, let your literature grow in each and everyone's mind. When you see the nature, you should have some thoughts. At least you should have a mind to write 2 lines. Gaia, behind you I see 2 feet. I should have an imagination to what should be on the top. You see, I can see only two. On the screen, I have seen that 2 feet is there, yellow feet. That gives me to write 2 lines. Each and every part of the nature, you should be able to see the poetic mind. That is what literature is. So here you see, Walt Whitman begins his poem. And who art thou? Thou is an archaic word. Old usage. Thou means you. Thou means you. Thou, thee, all the thine. These are the archaic word for you. Thou means you. Thine means your. Thee means you. If you read the holy books in English, you will see God will be addressed as thee. Thee. With the capital letter, you will see. When we write capital letter thee, that is for God. Thou. How art thou, God? Our Father in heaven. Thou art in heaven. In Christian prayers it is there. Our Father in heaven. Thou art in heaven. Thou. That is you. You are in heaven. So, and who art? Art is not your artistic mind. Art. That is archaic form. Who are you? Who are you? Said I to the soft falling shower. The poetic mind addresses the river, a rain, that, hello, my dear, who are you? The poet sees that a guest had come to his home. In his courtyard, the name of the guest is Rain. And the poet does not know his name. And he asks, who are you? Which, strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. Walt Whitman says the guest is dumb and deaf, or maybe not deaf, dumb. He cannot speak. Rain is dumb. He cannot speak. But he produced some sound. From that sound, I could read his language. News channels, you may be seeing deaf and dumb's news, isn't it? One person will be reading the news from here, and the other person will be doing like this, isn't it? Isn't it? So here, Walt Whitman looked at the rain. Try to understand what the rain speaks. And only he could understand the language of the rain. So he tells, my dear friends, my dear readers, I am going to translate. I am going to translate it, what the rain had spoken. I am the poem of the earth. Rain says, I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Rain said, I am poem because I make the earth happy. Poem makes people happy. I am the poem of the earth. Eternal I rise. Eternal I rise. Impalpable. Impalpable means unseen. I rise up ever and ever and ever without any break. I rise up and you cannot see my origin. You are unable to see my origin. I am eternal. Eternal, I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea upward to the heaven. You might have studied the, okay. So you see, here we are, you might have studied, the life cycle of butterfly, isn't it? Life cycle. Here the poet says the life cycle. Eternal, I rise from the bottom of the sea. From the bottom of sea, I am coming up. I am coming up. Where? To heaven. To heaven. You see? Read like this. Eternal, I rise unpalpable. You cannot see me. Where from? But eternal, continuously, without any break, I come up out of the land. I am coming. My origin is from the land where you live. And what I do? I begin my journey from the bottomless sea. My origin is in the sea, in the water. And upward to heaven I move. Whence vaguely formed, vaguely means not clear, vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. In my travel, in the cycle, during my travel, I change a lot. I change myself. Many changes will happen to me. And you see, vaguely formed, I form myself in an unclear way, not a fixed way, in a form. Altogether I change. I come from sea. Sea is full of water. From there I begin. From the water, my form is changed. I am not water then. I am vapor, isn't it? My form is changed. I become a vapor. So it is unclear. You cannot see me. You cannot see me. I change my shape. I change my existence into another existence. Water into vapor. And the vapor is moving upward all the time, continuously. That is what you said, isn't it? Origin of air. Wind is formed, isn't it? When the hot air is going up, cool air will be down. So wind is formed. So 24 hours continuously I am moving upward in the form of vapor. I am moving to heaven. And altogether I change, yet the same. But I become the same. You see? Water becomes vapor. Vapor becomes clouds. Ultimately, I will change myself into my first form. What is the first form? Water. Water. So, rain begins from water. It becomes vapor. Then it is transforms into clouds. Ultimately, the cloud becomes water. The water falls down. And water is known as rain. Isn't it? Water is known as rain. You see, I descend then. Why did I take? Poet says, why did this water take this much trouble? It is boiled, it becomes vapor, and it becomes clouds up above. Then from there it is falling down. Its legs may be broken. Its ribs may be broken. Why this water is taking that much risk, pain? It is said here. You see, I descend. Why do I come down? I descend to lave the draughts. When I went up, I saw drought, dried land. I saw deserts. I understand people are troubled without water on their land. I have mercy on them. I come down to wet the land. I come down to wet the land. I descend to lave. Lave means to make wet. To wet. To lave the draughts. Atomies. What is atomies? Not the physics atoms. Atoms. Dust. Cars are parking outside. New buses are parking outside. All are filled with dust. I shower my water on them. It is washed. You see, I descend to lay the draughts. I want to wet the dry land. I want to wet the atomies, the dust, small particles of soil, dust layers of the globe. The earth is filled with the dry soil, dust. I want to make it wet. In short, I come down to make the earth wet. I am in the earth, but I could not see all these things. I went up in the form of vapor. I became cloud. From there I saw the earth is dried. Earth needs water, but the water is collected in one place. This earth needs water. Earth needs water. So what happens? The water is falling down. The water is falling down. And the water wants to wet the land. The water wants to wet the land. You see, I descend to lay the drops, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them, without me, were seeds only. You see, if I do not come down, what will happen? There are a lot of seeds under the soil. These seeds will be like there itself. You see, in summer season, if you take some seed and keep it under the soil, and if you don't give the water, what will happen? The seed will be there as seeds. But when I shower my water upon them, the seed sprouts. Seed becomes sapling. So for the seed, I am necessary. You see, why did I take this much struggle? Why do I transform myself into vapor and into clouds? In order to help the earth. You see? And all that in them, without me, were seeds only. If I am not coming here, all seeds will be always seeds. Latent, unborn. Latent means concealed, keep under the soil. Latent. Here means concealed. They will be kept as it is. They will be kept as it is. Latent, unborn, and forever. By day and night, I give back life to my own origin. So, I give birth, I help the seeds to sprout. I help the earth to get wet. Then what I become again, I reach to my own source. The water will flow and it will flow to the sea. And I give back life to my own origin. You see, cycle you make it, water, steam, cloud, water. This water comes to sea. Again water, steam, cloud, water. Human life, you see, heaven, from God, man comes, lives on earth, make the earth, or he is living on the earth, nourishing the earth, you see, nourishing the earth, goes back to home, the same place. And certain religious belief is there, the soul again becomes another, again comes, lives on this earth, again goes back, cycle. The man is here to nourish the earth, nourish the nature. That is why we could see here now, cry against the nature. Don't cut the trees, plant the trees. Isn't it? Green earth. Everything is created for man. In the early centuries, where was the man? Man was in the forest. Am I right? Do you think ever? Early man was living in the forest. He did not build this kind of concrete buildings. He was in the forest. He was not afraid of any animals. Animals were living with them. Man was living with the animals. Man was in the forest. Later, man cut the trees. Man made his own kingdom. Separated the nature from him. Am I right? We created our own kingdom and we separated them into that heaven of freedom. Let my country awake. Rabindranath Tagore said, into that heaven of freedom, peacefulness, let my country awake. Through this, the voice of rain, we have to connote. I am saying the connotation. This is what is called the connotation, what I told just now. When I read this poem, it gave me a reflection this. So this poem reflects in me love for the nature. That is the purpose of poet. Clear now? This is what in the beginning I told, denotation and connotation. Till now I was teaching you the denotation, what is the meaning of the poem. The second stage I told you my connotation. My connotation will be different from John Philip, your connotation. John Philip's connotation will be different from Niranjan's connotation. Each and every reader will have its own reflection in his or in her own mind. The purpose of literature is to transform the society. The purpose of every literature is to transform the society. By reading the literature, each individual will be transformed. When each individual is transformed, the society is transformed. Clear now? So when I read this poem, I got the reflection that we should love the nature. We should get into the nature. We should get into the nature. In this way, each and everyone gets that reflection. All will be loving the nature, isn't it? All will be loving the nature. The purpose of the poem will be fulfilled. Clear now? So connotation makes the fulfillment of the philosophy that is behind the poem. This is the way we have to learn the literature. We have to learn the literature. You see now, and forever, day and night, I give back life to my own origin. You see, the rain says, the rain ran away from the sea one day. Because of its love towards the land, because another connotation, the rain was in a jail, prisoned in the sea. The water was prisoned in a sea. But rain, the water, had love towards land. Clear now? Love towards the land. So in love, the rain, the girl ran away from her house. Ran away from her house. She went up. And she came to land. She showered her love towards the land. Her purpose is fulfilled. She loved the land. At last, she returns to sea and tell, Mama, sorry, I have ran away. I came back to you, isn't it? I have come back to you. Please, sorry. Clear now? Another connotation you see? The love of the nature. So here you see, and forever, by day and night, I give back, I am returning my life to my origin, to the sea, and make pure and purified. I purified. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with the love returns. You see, this is the thought behind. Whether you accept it or not, you see, wrecked or unwrecked, whether you notice it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you accept it or not, I am continuously doing. I am continuously loving the nature. I am continuously express my love towards the land. The vapor is going up. It becomes cloud. It waits for 9 months to pour down. Understood? That much pain it takes. So this is what the rain told about itself to the poet through its sounds. And poet understood like that, and he translates the sound of the rain. You see, voice of the rain, the sound of the rain. Hearing the sound of the rain, the poet understands, oh, this is what is happening. Oh, sorry, rain, I missed to understand you. I love you so. I love you very much. Let me think, if it is the thought, can we hate the flood? My simple question. My simple question. There you go. My simple question. Can we hate the flood, 2018 flood? Maravika? Can we hate the rain? No, we cannot hate the rain because it has come to us with 100% love. Suppose you have gone to Canada or US for studies, as we studied in grandmother, isn't it? Grandmother, after 5 years you are coming back and your grandmother had such a love towards you, she garlands you, embraces you, your ribs will be broken in such a way. Isn't it? What a strong love we enjoy there. In the same way, the rain was waiting for 100 years. How did I love my child every day? I was giving 248 milliliter rain. Little bit, 1 ounce rain. I was giving 1 bottle rain. Oh, I can't suffer. This year, I will fill the minds of the people with the rain. The whole rain from above came together with love. And we called it not rain, we called it floods. And we said, floods, we hate you. You see? Understand? So, if the flood comes, rain comes. Yes, we love you. When the teacher beats you, what should you say? What should you say? Somebody? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Isn't it? When the teacher scolds you, what should you say? Thank you, sir. You corrected me. Thank you, sir. When the rain comes and floods, oh, very good. I understand your love now. Oh, very good, very good. So you should take the voice of the rain at that time, Niranjan. When the flood comes, when the river there overflows, you take the poem and sing. For song issued from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, you notice, oh people, you notice or unnotice. I don't mind. What you comment, I don't mind. I do my duty well. Clear now? So hereafter, nobody shall blame the rain. You should love the rain. Rain is coming to love you. Love you. Okay. So this is the poem of the rain. So with this spirit, write an appreciation to the poem. Write an appreciation to the poem. Appreciation, you have to write the denotation and connotation. Connotation will be the conclusion. You can have your own connotation, but it should be stuffy. Clear now? Okay, we end the class. Okay, thank you. Write the question, write an appreciation on the poem Voice of the Rain. 3/4 of the page. That is appreciation. 3/4 of the page. Make it 1 page. Heading and box. You can choose 2 lines and make it 1 page. Okay? Thank you. I end the meeting.